Hello, wonderful people. It's been a long time. You're wondering, where has this guy been? Should we just blame it on pandemic? Or should I just say I have been on quarantine? I'm just kidding. Well, whatever it is, we've got to be very careful these days, and we need to be very kind to ourselves and of course to our family. Speaking of kindness, you've got to be kind to people around you and yourself. It comes back to you. Kindness is like a seed. When you plant it, it germinates into something very rewarding, and when cultivated, can grow and grow and grow again. A single act of kindness throws out roots from all directions, and the roots spring up and make new trees. Sometimes it's just a small act of kindness that plants a seed of hope, a seed that can grow and blossom and could eventually even help to make big changes in a person's life. Hey, this is Africa Diary, and as usual, we bring to you all major stories of the week from across Africa and beyond, and we help you to project into the future of possible events that may follow. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this. My name is Ajara Tijani, your regular anchor. It is Africa Diary once again. Welcome back. It's Africa Diary, your favorite program that serves you the latest information and what have happened over the week. And on this episode, be rest assured that we will not let you down. We're going to give you back to back from Somaliland to Somalia and to the East Africa, and then we sail across to West Africa, and of course we'll touch South and Northern Africa. So stay with us. Starting from home front, Somaliland government raises alarm over the influx of fake dollars in circulation from neighboring countries. The Somaliland Central Bank Governor Ali Baghdad has acknowledged with great concern the circulation of fake $50 notes in the country, noting that the government has stepped up mechanism to stem the ugly trend.
wuxuu soo baxay 2013.
Ali Baghdad in a press statement expressed that the development is very injurious to the economy of the country, adding that the fake notes have been confirmed to be obstructing the flow of transactions in the country. Jama alleged that the black notes in the circulation were criminally smuggled into the system and must, as a matter of urgency, be flushed out of the circulation.
ayuu leeyahay noorka forgeryga lacagtani halkay ka soo originkeedu ama halkay ka timi waxa la sheegayaa oo xoogaa noo sheegay in xamar ay ku soo horeysay oo kulay hawlaha ka socday doorashooyinka iyo waxaas baa laga yaabaa in la xiriidho dabeetana waxay soo martay dalka Itoobiya gudihiisa dabeetana wajaale ay soo gaadhay.
He said that the Somaliland Central Bank is leaving no stone unturned to ensure that detective systems are put in place in tracking fake currencies and the perpetrators are fished out by every means to block leakages and unwanted elements in the system. He further called on other monetary-related organizations and agencies such as money exchange bureaus to be on alert at all time in order to curb the ugly development. Earlier on Wednesday, the circulation of the $50 notes became a despicable conversation among the money exchangers and business owners as many launched a violent criticism against the authorities for slacking up in the first instance.
Still from Somaliland, we bring to you a special report from an individual who has been so kind to a lot of people, giving out humanitarian service. Dr. Saddam has been working as a volunteer in Hargeisa General Hospital for 9 years. Now, what's so special about that? He said he is committed to continue his efforts to help his people as long as he could. CBA TV met with him, and here is the story.
Hargeisa kana shaqeynay muddo dhan 9 sano waxaan ahay horta qofka oo naftii hore ay u shaqeynay umadiisa.
Dr. Saddam is one of the medical youths who live in Hargeisa, Somaliland. He told to CBA that he has been working as medical volunteer for 9 years in Hargeisa General Hospital. His main agenda is to give support to the patients in the hospital without seeking benefits from them. This young man wants to maintain extending help to his needy people as long as he can. Saddam affirmed that sometimes his work takes many hours to finish, but may not affect his desire to support it. He recounted that he never got support from his government for proceeding with these activities. Saddam has urged the central government of Somaliland to extend for him a support as he should continue this effort that he has been carrying out for the past 9 years.
Moving on to Somalia, gun battle erupts near Somalia's presidential palace. Why is that? Heavy clashes broke out earlier on Friday between security guards of opposition leaders and government forces near Somalia's presidential palace in the capital Mogadishu, with several people feared dead. Somalia president has called on the state leaders and the governor of Banadi region for a consultative meeting to reach a political deadlock. This comes days after opposition candidates urged for a mass protest against him.
Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo, Somalia's president, has once again called it on for a consultative meeting with the state leaders and the governor of Banadi region in Mogadishu. This consultative meeting is intended for political stakeholders to reach agreement over the electoral process. Somalia's President Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo's legitimate term ended on 8th February, and still the country's political stakeholders have not reached agreement on the election. The Council of Opposition presidential candidates said they will not recognize Farmajo as legitimate president, though the federal government said he will remain the president of the country until a new president is elected. The Federal Technical Committee, which recently appointed, has said that a deal has been reached by the federal government officials and the state leaders to finalize the agreement and pave the way for elections, though the Senate Speaker denies this claim of the committee.
In this report, the Sudanese Foreign Ministry said on Wednesday that the country has summoned its ambassadors to Ethiopia for consultations after tensions between the two neighbors have escalated in recent weeks over border disputes.
Khartoum's move came amid rising tensions with Addis Ababa over the Al-Fashqa border region, an area of fertile land settled by Ethiopian farmers that Sudanese claim to be within its boundaries. The ministry did not give more details about why Ambassador Gamar al-Sheikh was recalled. The border area between the two nations has been witnessing growing tensions, with skirmishes and killings since late last year. Sudan began to deploy troops to territories it claimed, which were occupied by Ethiopian farmers and militias in mid-December, shortly after its army said some soldiers were ambushed at the border by the Ethiopian militia. Clashes between the two sides have caused injuries and deaths. The two sides have been exchanging bombs for weeks, blaming each other for military incursion and violation of territorial integrity. In a statement on Tuesday, the Ethiopian Foreign Ministry accused Sudan of illegally entering its territory, saying Sudan's acts were a flagrant violation of international law against the use of force and the boundary of redemarcation treaties. Sudan invaded land that is part of Ethiopia's territory. In its indefensible conduct, the Sudanese army demolished Ethiopian administrative institutions, occupied military camps, killed and displaced residents, and destroyed their crops and property.
Now to Northern Africa. Several thousands Algerians rallied in a northern town on Tuesday, almost 2 years since the start of the Iraq protest, which swept former strongman Abdelaziz Bouteflika from power.
Demonstrators brandished Algerian and Berber flags and shouted slogans against the military and current president Abdelmajid Tebboune in the rally in Kherata, 200 kilometers, that's 125 miles east of the capital, Algiers. A civilian state, not military, freedom of the press and of expression, an independent judiciary, reads one of the banners. It was in Kherata that major protest first broke out on February 16, 2019, against Bouteflika's bid for a fifth term. The following week, mass rallies spread to Algiers and across the country in a month-long movement to demand sweeping reforms. Tuesday's rally was attended by prominent Iraq figures, including Karim Tabou, who was given a one-year suspended sentence in December for undermining national security. Around 70 people are currently in prison over links with Iraq movement or other peaceful opposition political activity, according to CNLD Prisoners Support Group. The unprecedented protest movement, which demanded a sweeping overhaul of the ruling system in place since Algeria's independence from France in 1962, only suspended rallies in March last year as the coronavirus pandemic reached the North African country. But recent weeks have seen renewed demonstrations in the build-up to the February 22 anniversary of the first nationwide protest, particularly in the traditionally restive region of Kabylie.
Still in the north, the United States approved an arms sale worth nearly $200 million to Egypt, but vowed to press human rights issues after an American activist reported his family being harassed.
The Biden administration, which has vowed to end support for Saudi Arabia's offensive operations in Yemen's devastating war and is reviewing a major jet sale to the United Arab Emirates, said it approved the sale of 168 tactical missiles to Egypt. The $197 million sale of the Raytheon-made rolling airframe missiles was requested by the Egyptian Navy to improve defense in coastal areas and around the Red Sea, the U.S. Department of State said. The department said in a statement it approved the sale subject to congressional review as Egypt continues to be an important strategic partner in the Middle East. Biden has vowed a tougher stance on human rights after his predecessor Donald Trump quoted Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, whom he reportedly called "my favorite dictator," in part for his cooperation with Israel. A lawyer for Mohammed Sultan, A U.S. citizen who was filed a lawsuit alleging torture in Egyptian custody said plainclothes officers raided the homes of 6 of his family members on Sunday, detaining 2 cousins. Department of State spokesman Ned Price said the U.S. was aware and looking into the account. The son of a leading member of the now outlawed Muslim Brotherhood was arrested in August 2013 after El Sisi led the military overthrow of elected President Mohamed Morsi. In 2015, Sultan was released and deported to the U.S. after renouncing his Egyptian citizenship. He filed a lawsuit in a U.S. court in June and last month worked with members of Congress to form a caucus devoted to promoting human rights in Egypt.
To Senegal. Senegal received 200,000 doses of China's COVID-19 vaccine known as Sinopharm on Wednesday, purchased at around 3.8 million US dollars, according to the country's finance ministry.
Nearly 1.3 million more vaccine doses are also expected to arrive via the World Health Organization's COVAX initiative. In a televised ceremony to mark the occasion, President Macky Sall addressed the nation. For vaccine storage, cold room have been installed and the country has received 1,117 WHO-approved freezers. President Sall continued. Sall called on the health minister to undertake all the necessary logistical, financial and social mobilization arrangements for the vaccination campaign launch. The Senegalese head of state also called on the Institute Pasteur in Dakar, which produces a vaccine against yellow fever, to examine the possibility of locally producing coronavirus vaccines. Since the onset of the pandemic, Senegal has recorded almost 32,000 cases, including 760 deaths, and infections have increased in the past few months.
Surge of the pandemic. When I mention pandemic, you know what I'm talking about, coronavirus. Now, in some part of West Africa, the epidemic, which is rearing its ugly head to become a pandemic known as Ebola, is also, rearing its ugly head, like I said earlier on. Ebola outbreak, United States government shows concerns ready to help Guinea, Congo. The government of the United States of America said everything possible must be done to stop Ebola outbreaks in Guinea and Democratic Republic of Congo before they became large epidemics that may be difficult to control, just like COVID-19.
The government of the United States of America said everything possible must be done to stop Ebola outbreaks in Guinea and Democratic Republic of Congo before they become large epidemics that may be difficult to control. In its first official statement from the White House on the re-emergence of Ebola in the 2 African countries, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said President Joe Biden has been briefed on the situations in Central and West Africa. Congo in Central Africa on Sunday confirmed 4 cases since September 7. Guinea in West Africa had 7 confirmed cases and 3 deaths. On Tuesday, the U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan spoke with the ambassadors of Guinea and Congo as well as Guinea neighbors Sierra Leone and Liberia to convey U.S. willingness to help them. The World Health Organization (WHO) earlier announced that it had confirmed new cases of Ebola in North Kivu province in the DRC. The city was an epicenter of the second largest Ebola outbreak in the world, which was declared over in June. Meanwhile, the WHO officials said vaccine has been taken to the hard-to-reach city and that the health body is doing everything possible to contain the highly lethal disease before it spreads widely. Unlike the highly infectious COVID-19, which can be spread by people who don't have symptoms, Ebola spread mainly through people who are already visibly sick. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the virus spreads through direct contact with the blood or body fluids of people who are sick or who died of the disease. Ebola has an average case fatality rate of 50%, though it can vary by outbreak. Kamel Sadiq, CBA TV.
Moving on to the Africa's populous nation, Nigeria. Nigeria approves AstraZeneca for emergency use. Nigeria's National Agency for Food, Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has approved AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use.
This is to announce that our first COVID vaccine, AstraZeneca Oxford COVID-19 vaccine, also called Covishield, has just been granted emergency use authorization by NAFDAC.
Nigeria's National Agency for Food, Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has approved AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use. The emergency approval of the vaccine is coming at a time when Nigeria on Wednesday recorded 869 new COVID-19 cases in 24 states. The latest figure, which indicated a significant decrease from 1,368 new cases recorded on Tuesday, raised the total coronavirus infections in Nigeria to 149,369. With the approval of the vaccine, Nigeria will hope to take the fight against COVID-19 to the next stage. Nigeria is expected to receive an initial 16 million doses of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines through Vaccines Global Access Facility (COVAX) by the end of February, and another 1.4 million doses donated by MTN. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ozage Onahere, noted that efforts are ongoing to ensure the effective rollout of the COVID-19 vaccines when they finally arrive. He said a COVID-19 vaccine coordination committee has been inaugurated to address diverse issues peculiar to COVID-19 vaccine acquisition by Nigeria.
Other sources of vaccines are under negotiation, but it is important to stress that being newly developed tools, all COVID-19 vaccines carry a tiny amount of what we do not know, which is why all vaccine manufacturers are indemnified by government. Moreover, a briskly growing market for fake products has appeared, which some dealers are exploiting. Therefore, vaccines not approved by the Federal Ministry of Health and its agencies cannot be used in Nigeria. The government will not be responsible for the safety or efficacy of vaccines given outside the framework of government response by NPHCDA.
So far, research has shown that the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine is highly effective. No one given the vaccine in trials developed severe COVID or needed hospital treatment. Unlike Pfizer jab, which has to be kept at an extremely cold temperature, the Oxford vaccine can be stored in a normal fridge. This makes it much easier to distribute. Kamil Sadiq, CBA TV, Nigeria.
If you have any recommendation, if you have any advice, if you have any comment whatsoever, jolly you well to drop your comment right down, on our social media page, Facebook page, CBA TV, and of course Twitter and the rest of them. My name is Ajara Tijani. Special thanks to all the operators that have operated camera, the screen. I'm talking about Abdulaziz Hossein Guled. Thank you so very much. And to you, our viewer, thank you once again. Until next time, come your way. Remain safe. Bye for now.